When you think of comfort food, most of the time you think of a special casserole or a dish that your mom prepared when you were young. Well, sometimes comfort food goes the sweet route. Today I'm making one of my favorite sweet comfort foods. You can find today's recipe in the description box below. Be sure to check it out for all the ingredients and step-by-step instructions. Before I get started, let me tell you just a little bit about my recipe. I've combined 3 different recipes, sort of. The first is the pudding that I use my grandmother's recipe. Second, I use my mother-in-law's method of putting it together. And third, my mom does a pretty meringue, but she never put meringue on her banana pudding. She always topped it with vanilla wafers. So that's what I'm going to do because my meringues are not pretty. Now that you know what I'm going to do and who I got the inspiration from, let's get started. First, let's slice a couple of bananas really thin. And when I say really thin, I mean really thin. These are small bananas, so I may do 3. Okay, first banana, second banana, third banana. To my bananas, I'm going to add about 2 cups of crushed vanilla wafers. And then I stir it so that the wafers and the bananas are all mixed together. It helps to keep them from turning dark while I make the pudding. Now that everything's coated, I'm going to put the lid on and put it to the side. Now the fun part, making the vanilla pudding. To start off, 2 cups of milk, 3/4 cup of white sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in with the sugar, and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And I just checked my directions. I was supposed to do the sugar and salt and cornstarch together first and then pour the milk in. It's all mixing together fine, so it really doesn't matter that I did it sort of out of order. Now that they're all mixed together, I'm going to cook this until it starts to thicken and bubble. I'll be stirring to make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom. Do this over medium heat. You don't want it to get too hot too fast and end up burning. Alright, this is starting to thicken. It's bubbling slightly around the edges. So I'm going to now cook it for 2 more minutes. Got my timer going on my watch. So for 2 minutes I will stir this continually and just wait for it to continue to thicken. 1 more minute. 2 minutes are up. Let's take it off the heat. Now, I have 2 slightly beaten egg yolks. I'm going to ladle up a little bit of the pudding, and I'm going to drizzle it into the egg yolks just to temper them. If you add egg yolks into the hot pudding, it will actually end up scrambling the eggs. And yeah, scrambled eggs in your banana pudding. And I'm going to do another, streaming it in very slowly, a little at a time, giving the eggs a chance to come up to temperature. Okay, yeah, that is nice and warm now. Instead of the spoon, I'm going to go back for my whisk. And I'm just going to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to be whisking the pudding. I'm going to drizzle the egg in. Just a nice slow stream. And if it wasn't already thick, it's definitely going to start thickening now with the egg in it. If you don't want to, save your yolks for something else, scrambled eggs in the morning, or a meringue on top if you want to do that. You can just do one well-beaten egg instead of the 2 yolks. That'll work also. That's in there. It's nice and smooth, no problems. Back onto the heat. Okay, now that we're back up here, we want to cook another 2 minutes, stirring constantly so that nothing settles to the bottom and burns. Okay, 2 minutes are up. Take this off the heat again, and now I'll add 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 teaspoons of vanilla flavoring. Stir that until the butter melts. The butter's melted, so let's add it to the bananas. Here's the bananas mixed up with the vanilla wafers. Now I'm just going to pour the pudding in. Get out all the pudding. And then just stir it together. Smooth it out on top. And the final step, whole vanilla wafers that I'm just going to top the pudding with. I just do little rings of vanilla wafers around the outside, and then on the inside, and then the final, I'll lay it on the top. And that's how I make vanilla pudding. All the directions are in the description box below this video. While you're there looking at the recipe, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know anytime I upload a video to YouTube. Thanks for joining me today. God bless.